It's Gamer Christmas Week. Hello and welcome to the channel, where I turn video games into glass. E3 week is in full swing, which means getting excited about games that may or may not come out in the next couple of years. How are you liking it so far? Are there any games you are excited about? To celebrate, I've decided to make the E3 logo in glass. I use regular scissors to cut up to the paper pattern outline. Then I use 3-bladed scissors to cut out the actual pieces. I glue the pattern onto the pieces of glass using Elmer's glue. I use a ring saw to cut the complicated or oddly shaped pieces that would be difficult or impossible to do by hand. The grinder is used to smooth out the cuts and refine the shape. I have a habit of leaving a little more glass on the edges than I should. It's mostly because I want a little more wiggle room when grinding. While it takes longer to grind, it is better than over grinding. Once I am happy with how the pieces fit, I wash up the paper and glue with water and dish soap. Copper foil is wrapped around the glass and pressed down with burnishing tools to ensure a snug fit. An X-Acto knife is used to cut the corners to fold the foil onto the edges, though I can sometimes get away with just folding the edges over. Before I foil complicated or odd shapes, I put small pieces of foil on each side to prevent the glass from showing if the foil splits. This is called saddling. Foil will split if a curve is too sharp and leave exposed glass, though what counts as too sharp kind of depends. If I'm unsure if the foil will split, I saddle it anyway just to be on the safe side. An X-Acto knife is used to trim the saddled foil, so it lines up with the regular foil. I use push pins to make sure the pieces won't move before I can tack them together. There's a little bit of a gap where the E and 3 meet towards the bottom and some other places. I use copper wire to fill in the gap so the solder won't drip through. I use 60-40 tin lead solder to stick the pieces together, applying flux before I solder. The flux allows the solder to bond to the copper. Otherwise, the solder won't stick. Once all the pieces are tacked, I remove the push pins and continue soldering. I make hooks using copper wire and attach them to be able to hang the piece once it is finished. Hooks are soldered in a joint because the weight of the piece is on the joint and not the edge. For smaller, lighter projects, you can get away with attaching hooks to the edge, but not on heavier, larger projects. Once everything cools down, I wash the finished project with water and dish soap, then dry it off. I use a patina made specifically for lead that will change the color from silver to black. The excess patina is rinsed off with water. The final thing I do is apply wax to slow down the natural oxidation process. If you want to know more, I have a tutorial playlist where I explain each step in more detail. And there you have it, the E3 logo made in stained glass. Fairly simple to make, especially if you have a ring saw. This has been one of the few things I've made where it only took me a day, unlike the usual 2 to 4 days it takes to make things. Enjoy the rest of E3, and let me know what you are excited for. There is so much to look forward to, and there is something for everyone. Like, share, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see me make down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all through the next pane.